Hello, hello. It's facing me, you're okay.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, right, hello everyone. If you're just joining, this is the live version and we'll be starting in 11 minutes. So if you're watching this on replay, just fast forward to 11 minutes to get to the beginning. Hi Anna. Hi Rebecca. Sorry, my glasses have steamed up now so I can't actually see what I'm doing. The joys of live streaming. You forget. Oh, there we go. Hook it around that ear. Vision at last. Yeah. Oh, what a day. I came up from Edinburgh to Inverness and I don't know where the time went. We just got later and later and later. It was like, oh no. So hi. So I was just like panicking. So yeah, I managed to pop it forward half an hour so that I could get time to get here. And then I turned up at my B&B and I use the same B&B all the time. I love them. They're just lovely people. And there was a notice on the door, "Hi Sam," and they told me where to look for my key. Hi Hilary. Hi Marion. So that was really cool. I thought, oh, they trust me. Let me in. Same room as usual. And I'm like, okay. So it's been a funny day weather-wise. It was lovely and sunny, and then driving up the A9, it just started bouncing off the ground. So heavy. But I hope you're all having better weather than that. Fingers crossed for tomorrow that it's a nice day. Because I'd quite like a nice sunny day. That would be good. Hi Deborah. Oh, hello, both Deborahs. Hi. Hi. Oh, so it's just oh God, I hope that's not a midgie. Yeah, I'm still nursing my midgie bites from Sky. My right arm's covered. Oh, and I got to meet a Voyager beamer yesterday. She was in Edinburgh. She'd been all over Scotland, and she was in Edinburgh, and I was off yesterday morning. And it was just really nice to be able to sit down and see people in the flesh, rather than on the screen, because I just see names, so it was really nice to put a face to that. I think her poor husband was probably bored out of his mind listening to us chatter, but it was good for me. I enjoyed it. Oh. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else I've been up to. Oh, I've got some darker history tours in the works. And I'm not sure whether to do it as a tour or whether to do it as a video and do premieres and watch it live. But I've got quite a few little interesting snippets that I've been researching and thinking, oh, I think that would be really good as a tour. But hi Linda, I've just been, I'm sure there's midges here. Right. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. Oh please, I bet you I've put it in the other bag, my suitcase. Oh, I was going to show you the midgie repellent. It's really good if you're coming. Hi Michelle. It's So if you do come to Scotland and you get bothered by these things, there's a thing called Smidge, which works really well. We've got about 8 minutes till we start, so if you're watching this on replay, we're live at the moment, just fast forward to 8 minutes and that'll take you to the start, so you don't have to listen to the chat at the beginning. Now I'm not using Streamlabs this time because I've had a terrible time with Streamlabs lately, so we're straight on to YouTube direct. Oh, is Ronnie here? I didn't even see, sorry, missed you. Hi Lynn. Yeah, I've missed people joining, sorry. Hello. So if during the video as it's live it goes a bit like soft focus, there's nothing I can really do about that. But when you watch it back on replay, it should be clear. I don't know why it does it, and it doesn't do it all the time because I've done several that haven't had that issue, but it's just in case it happens. So what do they say, forearmed is forewarned or something like that anyway. Right, so we have got, don't you dare start raining on me, we've got 7 minutes to go. Oh, I've forgotten your real name, Attic Girl. Hello Attic Girl. I'm really bad when it comes to names. Oh, sorry. Thanks. Oh, I'm sitting on a wee wall and I was trying to let them past, but yeah, my bum's obviously bigger than I think. I see, I never see it, so as far as I'm concerned, it's very small and well shaped. Hi, Joanne. It feels like a lifetime since I've had a chat with everyone. I've really missed it. But starting in September, I'm going to be doing more regular tours. To the tunnels underneath. No, Rebecca. I have been in under the arches and things, and I have been down closes that feel like tunnels, but I haven't actually been into the tunnels that go from the castle down the Royal Mile. And there's very few people that have, because they closed them up because, well, it's dark, it's dangerous, and you've got to have an oxygen supply, etc. I have been through the tunnel in the castle that takes you up by car, but it's not quite the same thing. It's kind of cheating. But yeah, no, if they ever offer the tunnels, I would very much like to see it, but it's yes, I'm still going to Turkey, Deborah. Deborah, the ongoing saga. Today I am wearing, wait till I show you how to turn the camera around, people. Real shoes, people, real shoes. I have banished the sandal. I've had hi Cindy. I've had an infected big toe since June, and I can't describe the pain. I've given birth 5 times and this has been unbearable. So I've had to wear sandals until it was completely cleared up. So I'm finally today got shoes on again. Like, yes, I am an adult now. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm definitely going to Turkey. The holiday's all paid up now. I'm just waiting for my passport. The problem with the passport is I wanted to fast track it, pay the extra to make sure it's done, and they said I couldn't because it was my first adult passport. So 2 weeks ago I got a letter saying, well, we got the information saying everything was received. It was all they feel really good. These are my favourite shoes. I get the same pair of shoes every year. They feel I go through a pair of shoes a year just walking. So anyway, got this update saying that everything was there, everything's wonderful, and then a couple of days ago I got Friday, I think it was it Friday? Anyway, I got an email saying that because it's my first passport, I have to go in for an interview. I have to have an interview. Phone this number. So I phoned the number, and my interview is on the 21st of September. It's 4 weeks, so I've had to wait to get the interview. It's madness. Oh, see, I have no depth perception, so I trip on things, and I know exactly where these shoes are because I've worn the same style, make of shoe for so long. And I had the sandals on for about, I think it was the first or second week of wearing them, and I fell down a turnpike staircase and all sorts of rubbish. Yeah, I'm a liability. I know, so hopefully the passport will come within a week after that, and then, because I'm not going on holiday until I think it's around about the 20th or thereabouts of October. But yeah, it's cutting it too fine for my liking. Yeah, it's really slow. And the worst bit is, even though my husband has a passport, the children can't get their passport till I've got my passport. Yeah, they wouldn't do theirs separately. They all had to come together. And I was just like, that's madness, because mine's is delaying everything. Anyway, yes, so when I'm in Turkey, if there is a signal where I am, I will let you see where I am. Yeah, I'm a total klutz, Emily, honestly. Any excuse to fall over, trip up, walk into something, that's me. Right, let's see what the time's doing now. I'm going to turn my watch on. Oh, wait a second. Come on, you want to wake up. 2 minutes, we've got 2 minutes to go, and then we'll get started. So if you're just joining, we're doing a little bit of a chat beforehand. It officially starts at 1:30 the hour. If you're watching this on replay, fast forward 2 minutes to the beginning. There we are. Yeah, so I'm so excited to be doing this again. Yeah, so in September, if you just watch the channel, you'll see the different tours coming up. I'm going to do some in Edinburgh and things like that for you. and I will do some filming, and then we'll watch it as a premiere for places that don't have signal yet. I used to wear Skechers all the time, but I've got my Achilles tendons are damaged because of the amount of walking I do for a living, so I have to be careful with the bit at the back. So the ones that I've got now fit perfectly and they don't irritate anything. Old age, it doesn't come itself, I'm telling you. It's like, gosh, you hit that mile marker and boom, it's all falling apart. I could have had my tendons dealt with, but the problem is, because of what I do, if it breaks, it's a problem. You've got flat feet? Oh no. Oh, cement floors there, that'll do it for you. Right, I think we're just about ready to start, but I have just realised my juice isn't open, so I am going to turn you around for a second, pop you down here while I open my juice, have a look at somebody's house. There you are. 2 seconds. There, that's the juice. Right, okie dokie. I'm going to flip you back round. There. Right, welcome to Inverness, everyone. That's us starting. For those that don't know me, my name is Sam Thompson. I'm an Edinburgh tour guide, and I've been a tour guide for 23 years, and I go all over Scotland. Tonight we're in Inverness, and we are standing next to the Friars Bridge, which I'll go into in a wee second, and we're just going to walk along and have a chat about what we're looking at. If you enjoy, then please give it a thumbs up. Remember, subscribe to the channel, and in the chat and in the links there should be the buy me a coffee and the, I don't know what you call it, those emoji things and all that nonsense. So yeah, right, that's all that messy bit out the way. So what I'm going to do is turn it round. If you ask any questions, it moves quite quick on the screen, so I don't always catch it, and it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's just I haven't been able to read the question. So yeah, please don't take offence at anything if I've missed anything out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll take you up here. We're going to look at a board, just for those of you that plan to come to Inverness. It just shows you where some of the walks are that you can do. So this is the Friars Bridge that we're looking at, but I'll get back onto that in a wee second. Just so you can get your bearings. So there you can see the map of Inverness, and I'll just come in, and that's showing you are here. That's the Friars Bridge, and then we're going to walk upstream, and I'll just let you see the little close up. If you're watching it later, just pause, you can take a screenshot, and then you can see where everything is, and then that gives you the distances of all the different routes that you can take. So there's actually quite a lot of walks that you can do by the river, which is really nice. Now the Friars Bridge, this bridge carries the dual carriageway, which is, it also has pavements on it, so you can walk across as a pedestrian, and it's 3 concrete spans between 2 piers that are set into the river, so you can see the piers just in the water there. Now the bridge was built by Highland Council, and it was to provide a third crossing over the River Ness in Inverness to try and alleviate some of the congestion when it comes to the other bridge. Now it was opened on the 10th of July 1989, I think it was, and it's called the Friars Bridge because on the other side of the water is where there was a monastery, the Benedictine Black Friars. So they had land on that side of the water there. Now, actually, there's a lovely reflection. I'm going to show you it. We'll just cut across the grass. It's the joy about these shoes. They're waterproof, so it doesn't matter if the grass is wet. Oh, that's the thing. If you come to Scotland, bring a pair of decent waterproof shoes, and then that way, if your feet are dry, they're happy, and if they're happy, the rest of you is. So, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I missed the postcards, but I know some of you can do screenshots and things, and it's just lovely. That reflection's beautiful. And this is a little sort of memorial, I think. I'll just bring it around here, and it's the International Workers' Memorial Day, 28th of April. You've got this lovely bench. Now, Yes, I think you would say it was north, yeah. Well, kind of, we're on the east coast. Yeah, aye. We'll go with north. Now, I'm just going to show you the waterfront, which is this little pub coming into view. Now, it was originally known as the Friars Shot, and it has also been known as the Black Bull. And the waterfront, it's what would you call it, a gastro pub? So they do some really, really nice food, and I've eaten here quite a few times. You just phone up, you can book a table. They don't mind if you're single. You know, if you book in advance, you're fine. If you're looking for something at short notice, the earlier in the day, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Just watch the recording if you've got to pop off. Don't worry. I appreciate you turning up just for the first 10 minutes anyway. Yeah, so I've eaten here quite a lot. The food's really good. They do Scottish food. They do all sorts of things. So yeah. Now, this is Huntley Street. We're at the end of Huntley Street. And yeah, so the pub has been open for over 100 years. So originally it's the Friars Shot. So it's been open for 100 years. Now, it's called the Friars Shot because it's a reference to the monks who used to basically cast their nets or throw their nets across the river to catch fish. And that's why it's called that. Then it became the Black Bull, and then more recently the Waterfront, which is how we know it today. Now, the kitchen was devastated by a fire in 2011. And like I say, it's some of the best value food pub in Inverness. Well, that's my opinion. I mean, other people might have other opinions, but it's not that far to walk. Look at that sky, isn't that gorgeous? Right. So if I turn around here, you can see there's the horror of my life, the bouncy bridge, and then you can see the castle and you can see the old High Kirk. So it is within walking distance of the city centre. So it is easy to get to. A main meal here is anything from £14.95, and they do fish, meat, vegetarian. And if you have any kind of like allergies or things when you're anywhere in Scotland, you just tell before you order, and then they'll be able to recommend dishes or make sure things are left out. I know 100 years, that's a lot of beer. That is a lot. I don't know if you can make them out, but all the ducks are sitting on that little bank there just in front of us. Right, I was going to point you this way away from the wee girl just now. Now, the River Ness itself, it flows from Loch Dochfor at the northern end of Loch Ness, and it runs northeast to the mouth of the Bewley Firth at Inverness, and it drops from Loch Ness to here. I know the Bouncy Bridge. It drops about 52 feet in height. So Loch Ness is actually 50 odd feet above sea level. So yeah. Now the origin of the name Inverness, mouth of the River Ness. So that's where we get it. So we're like, if you've seen Inverary or Invergordon, Invergary, it's telling you it's the mouth of the river. Now, the name Ness might actually derive from a Pictish word Nessa, and Nessa was a river goddess, so that could well be where the name originated from. In salmon season, you can fish here, which is February to October. You've got salmon and sea trout can be caught here as well. Now, somewhere around here that a massive salmon was caught. Yes, there was a salmon caught, and it was 64 pounds in weight, so huge salmon. It was returned to the water after being photographed, and it didn't actually become a record because the scales hadn't been calibrated that they used to weigh the fish. So unfortunately, yeah. Imagine getting that close to the record, and it's like a once in a lifetime thing. You're never going to catch that again. So that's us just looking across the river there. Yeah, there's been a massive Nessie hunt. Lots of people coming from all over the world to hunt for Nessie. At the other end, well, you've got the Caledonian Canal as well. So That links Fort William to Inverness, and the canal, it connects the east coast at Inverness to the west coast at Corpac, which is Fort William. There's 29 locks in it in its entire length, and it was designed by Thomas Telford. You did see it, yeah. Yeah, and the canal runs 60 miles, that's 100 kilometres I think, from the northeast to the southwest. And at its highest point above sea level is about 106 feet. And only a third of the canal is actually man-made. And it's formed, you've got Loch Dochfor, Loch Ness, Loch Oich, Loch Lochy. Yeah, and then it takes you out to Corpac, just past Fort William there. Yeah, 29 locks, but it's also got, I think it's 4 aqueducts and 10 bridges in the course of the canal. It'd be good if they found Nessie. Just, can you imagine? It'd be like discovering a dinosaur, you know, a live dinosaur. That would be fantastic. Now across the water, we've got the old High Kirk, which is St Stephen's, and it's perched on St Michael's Mount, and it's overlooking the River Ness. Now the old High Kirk of St Stephen's is the oldest church in Inverness, and it's been a place of worship since I think the 6th century, 565 AD. That's it right in the middle of the screen there, and you can see it's kind of up. Now when it says High Kirk, it's talking about the highest church, it's built on the highest point for the church, rather than having the highest steeple or anything like that. Now the church was basically reconstructed in 1770, but the base of the church tower, which is the bottom part where right at the very bottom there you can see a blue door, that actually dates to the 1300s, and it's the oldest standing building in Inverness. So yeah, if you do come, it is worth going and having a little walk around. Oh, now following the Battle of Culloden on the 16th of April 1746, it lasted less than an hour, the Battle of Culloden. The kirkyard was a site of an atrocity, would you say? Yeah, that's what I would call it. Yeah, because the Jacobite prisoners, yeah, well, I'm just going to show you this first actually, look. Oh, nice, Cindy. So you've got some of the sea life and the birds here. I like the way they do these little things. So yeah, so basically it was a devastating loss for the Jacobites, and some of the prisoners were held in the tower of the church, and many of them were ill or wounded, and the conditions were harsh. And those that weren't actually already sick when they were locked in there soon weakened because of the conditions, the cold, starvation. Now, the government, rather than transport the prisoners to England for trial, many of them were actually hastily tried in the body of the church, sentenced in the church, and then executed among the graves of the old High Kirk. So yeah, the ones that couldn't stand were propped up against a gravestone and shot, and the ones that could stand stood against the wall of the tower and were shot. So the people inside the tower knew exactly what was going on. It must have been absolutely horrific to be in that position, knowing what's about to happen. Balmain House. Balmain House was actually used by the officers, the government officers, as a hospital, and that's Balmain House right there. So whilst they were lying in their sick beds, they were able to actually look across the river and watch the executions. Yeah, brutal. It's amazing what people do to each other. Now Balmain House was built, it's Georgian, it was in the Georgian style by a merchant in 1726. So a merchant built it. Its first documented use was as a townhouse for the duffs of, I think it was Drumure, I've forgotten. I think it was Drummuir. Anyway, but it was mainly owned and used over. It's been owned and used over the years for various things. It became a hospital after the Battle of Culloden, and then today it's the office for the National Trust for Scotland. In 1880s, it was actually the Highland base for the Ordnance Survey, the map makers. And then the building was saved from demolition by Inverness Civic Trust in 1968. And then in 1993, it opened to the public as a music heritage centre until 2000. And then unfortunately, that closed down. It's a beautiful building though. And the gate's shut, so I'm not going to be able to get you in to show you the board. But yeah. Georgian architecture is all about symmetry. And this is a really nice example. It is very pretty. And if you do come, if the gate's open, you can come in and have a look at this. Yeah, Nessie's probably in hiding. I think you're right. Yeah, she doesn't want to come out. Can you imagine? She'd be all over social media. That would be her. No more peace, no more quiet. Right. I'm not actually going over the bridge tonight because we're going to walk along this side of the river so we can get a view of the other side. But this is, I hate this bridge. Right, this is the Greig Street Bridge. It's a suspension footbridge and was built around 1880. It was by the civil engineer C. Manners, and it was constructed with the Rose Street Foundry at a cost of £1,400. It's nicknamed the Bouncy Bridge because when you walk on it, if somebody's heavy-footed, it starts a little movement, and then if the kids jump on it, it bounces all the way along, and it just drives me insane. This is close to the site of the original timber bridge, which was washed away in 1620. So there was a bridge here. You've been on it. Oh, there was a bridge here in the 1620s. Now the Rose Street Foundry was 18 to 21 Rose Street. It's actually a category A listed building. So you see where the church is, kind of behind it and behind it to the next street. Up the side of the buildings there, if you were to go up there, you would find the Rose Street Foundry. It's not the building for it, it's not far away. Yeah, and it was designed by Alexander Ross and Robert Macbeth, and it's a beautiful building. It has mosaics on the outside of it of men working in the foundry, and it was operating till the 1988, and it was the longest serving local foundry in Inverness, so it's a shame it shut down. Now at some point I will try and do a video
But it was like
at Rose Street to get the foundry and everything in the Victorian market. It's just signal's not always great, so you just kind of have to do what I can. So I think it'll need to be an actual recording that we do. The water's quite high tonight, and then I'll let you see the bridge from the other side. I'll just come along a little bit just so you can see it. There. I mean, it is a beautiful suspension bridge. Further upstream you've got the suspension bridges that take you to the Ness Islands, and I've done that walk before. I'll do it again sometime with you. They are lovely. It's just this one, because it's so big, it just seems to move a lot. Now, just ahead of us, we've got another church, and this is St Mary's Roman Catholic Church. At the present St Mary's, Our Lady of Annunciation, so I think that's what it was the first Catholic church to be built in St Andrews. Okay, right, enjoy your training. Yeah, you can watch it on replay. Yeah. So yeah, it was the first Catholic church to be built since the Religious Reformation. So in the sort of towards the late 1500s, we went from being a Catholic country to a Presbyterian country. So we went through the Religious Reformation. So yeah, a lot of the Catholic churches were repurposed or taken down. The same with the Episcopal churches as well. So yeah, we do still have some really old buildings that were originally other religions. So it's a nice little church, and they do services, and they also, I think they live stream their services as well. So if you wanted to see one, you could. Now, following the Catholic, that's dog poo, Emancipation Act of 1829, St Mary's was opened on the 2nd of April 1837, and the architect was William Robertson of Elgin.
Es como oírlo en disco, pero mucho mejor.
So I'm just letting these people pass. And basically what you're looking at is Gothic revival. In the Victorian period we went through a Gothic revival stage. So that's what the kind of architecture that we're looking at just now. Now, Inverness itself, the population is about 47,000. I'm just going to stand here till they move on. The pavement's too narrow to try and get past them. Anyway, yeah, so I'll let you have a look at the river. Yeah, so it's about 47,000. Now, Inverness was actually the capital of the Picts under King Brude, and he was visited and converted by St Columba around 565. There we go, that's giving them a wee bit of space there. Yeah, now centuries later, in 1040, Macbeth is supposed to have murdered King Duncan at his castle on the site of Castle Hill, Old Castle Hill. Now, in the early 12th century, David I made Inverness a royal borough. He also built a new castle. And once we pass this bush, you'll be able to see the castle today. So he built the new castle. And then King William the Lion gave Inverness 4 charters. Isn't that beautiful? The sunset's looking really nice. Gave it 4 charters, documents which granted the townspeople certain rights. And then by 1180, a ditch and a wooden stockade surrounded Inverness. Now, medieval Inverness flourished through fishing and shipbuilding. It's looking pretty, isn't it? It was a busy little port in the Middle Ages, and sort of the main exports were wool, fur and hides. By the middle of the 13th century, there was a bridge over the river which was slightly further down. In the 14th century, the wooden fort was destroyed by Robert the Bruce, and later it was rebuilt in the early 15th century. So we will get a look at this from across the road. Just in case anyone is taking screenshots there. Right, so that's the Ness Bridge, and they do sometimes light it up at night if there's anything like different colours. For Ukraine it was blue and yellow for a while. Now, the current bridge opened to traffic on the 7th of August 1961, and it replaced a suspension bridge which stood in the site from the 1850s to I think it was 1959 when it was taken down. There was a temporary structure slightly upstream which was used while this bridge was being built. Now, in 1982, the A9 was rerouted to bypass Inverness to the east via the newly constructed Kessock Bridge, which is when you're coming into Inverness on the A9, you see this beautiful bridge. That's the Kessock Bridge. Now, the oldest bridge across River Ness was a 7-arch stone bridge at this site that was built in 80s, I think it was the 1680s, and it contained a prison cell between two of the seven arches on the eastern side, and it was washed away by a storm in 1849, which also caused the Caledonian Canal to burst its banks and the water surged down the River Ness. So yeah. Oh, there's some really pretty buildings here, and it's looking very ominous. It's getting darker and darker, so expect rain. Now, if you were to walk straight up there, you'd come to the townhouse. To the left, behind the buildings we're looking at, on the left is Church Street, and that's where you've got Hootenannies, you've got Abertarf House, the oldest house in Inverness. You've got, I think it's Duncan's Hospital. Yeah, there's lots to see. I've taken you there before, but I just thought we'll do something a wee bit different this time, and then next time I'll take you through all that. Right, we're just waiting to get across the road. Oh, the ice cream shop, Deborah. I still haven't managed to get an ice cream there. I have been trying with ice cream. You may have seen evidence on Facebook. I've been posting pictures of ice cream. Scottish people eat ice cream all year round. It doesn't matter if it's snowing or not. The green apple, I've not. Yeah, I tried a really nice black currant one. It was delicious. It was so good. There's a great. Yeah, right. There is a great candy store. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to take us down here a little bit, just to get away from the crossing. So, right, okay. Now, as we look here, we're looking at the castle. Yeah, I mean, ice cream, it's just one of those things. Now, today the castle comprises of two castellated buildings. The first one dates from 1830s and was built as a courtroom. So if you look over to the right-hand side as we're looking at it, the second one was completed in the 1840s, and that served as a prison. So that's the one on the left-hand side. And they're sitting above the banks of the River Ness in the heart of Inverness. The castle is the most prominent building in the town because it's on the highest spot, so you see it from almost everywhere, and it occupies the position of the medieval fortifications that stood here before. The original well of the medieval fortress is actually up there, and you can still see it. You can find it in the grounds of the castle. If we were able to walk round the castle, I'd be able to show you these things, but unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate. It's being repurposed. It's not open to the public yet, but it's getting there. So hopefully soon we'll have access to it. Mary Queen of Scots in 1562, she actually came to Inverness. She tried to enter the castle, but the governor actually refused to admit her, as his family had a disagreement with the Queen. Now, who wants to argue with the Queen? Anyway, she stayed elsewhere in the town, but later the governor was actually hanged for his insubordination. Now, Flora MacDonald's statue, we can't actually see it from here, but there's a beautiful statue up there. Now, the statue was completed in the 1880s by Andrew Davidson, who was a sculptor in Inverness. Captain Henderson MacDonald bequeathed £1,000 towards the cost of the monument. There's a beautiful inscription. I'll just walk down and see if we can see a bit, actually. There's a lovely inscription there, and it says, "The preserver of Prince Charles Edward Stuart will be mentioned in history, and if courage and fidelity be virtues, mentioned with honour." Right, let's see if we can see her. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I don't think we're going to see her. Oh, I can hear bagpipes. I wonder where that is. I can hear the pipes. Yeah, we're not seeing her from here today. Right, so we'll just head along the river a wee bit more. We'll just have a quick look. Now, on this side, just ahead of us, there's outdoor eateries. So there's like a log-fired pizzeria, there's an ice cream shop, there's a coffee When I say shop, they're like booths or kiosks rather than that, but it's all good food. Oh, you could hear them! Oh, excellent! I wasn't sure if you'd be able to hear them or not over the mic. Now, on both sides of the river, there's lots and lots of accommodation. Some's better than others, some is more expensive than others as well. So just kind of shop around and check with your friends. Oh, there she is, right, I can see her now, hold on. I'll just turn round. Now, it might be too small, but you see how there's the two blue boxes? Right in the middle, that's the statue of Flora MacDonald, and she's looking towards Skye. And there's a dog with her as well. It's just beautiful. I love Inverness. It's a really nice place. So there's outdoor places to eat outdoors. I just want to take you along to the bend here so that I can show you where the other suspension bridge is, just so you get the idea. It is walkable if you want to, and quite a lot of this area is flat, so you don't have to go too far. And there's taxis as well, so if you do go for a walk and then you decide you've had enough, just get a taxi back. And there is actually an angling club further upstream as well. Right. So Inverness Cathedral, and it looks new compared to St Giles in Edinburgh, but that's because it was built in the 19th century, so it is new. It's Scottish Episcopal, and it dates back, the Scottish Episcopal religion dates back to the Roman occupation of Britain. There's a few remaining Scottish cathedrals which escaped destruction during the Reformation. Dornoch Cathedral and Dunblane Cathedral are two that were Episcopal, and they're both still standing and they're gorgeous. So they're really nice, but this one's very new. So there's the other suspension bridge just along here. Now, the Scottish Episcopal Church actually lost its legal recognition for supporting the Jacobites. That's why it wasn't as simple to say it was Scots against English at Culloden, or to say it was Highlands against Lowlands. It wasn't. It was more to do with the religion. So the Episcopals supported the Jacobites, and the Jacobites supported the Catholic king. And the government was Presbyterian. So you see, it's not as straightforward as people sometimes think it is. Now, their legal standing was withdrawn because the government was scared that they could rise up again. You know, there could be another surge. So in the 18th century, penal restrictions were imposed on its clergy and worship by the government. Like I say, because they were worried about the Jacobites rising again. So that walk along here, there's usually fish and chips and pizza and all sorts along here. So there's lots to see. Now, the church that you see today, you can actually go in and visit it during the day. The doors are open, you usually go in. It was built as a result of the second spring in the Scottish church in the 19th century, and this was the time of the revival of the Victorian Gothic style of architecture, but the leaves are up, so we can't. I'm trying to get you a view of the church. This isn't. Oh, look at the roses. Isn't that gorgeous? Right. Okay, I'm just going to have to go to the front over here. Sorry, it's just the leaves are kind of blocking the view here. Right, so I'll just let you see it. It is a beautiful building. So it stands at on the west bank of the River Ness, and we're basically opposite the castle. Now, it was Bishop Eden who in 1853 proposed that there should be a cathedral in the Highlands in Inverness. So I'll let you see the sign. Now, Eden elected Bishop of Moray and Ross in 1851 Caithness was added to his jurisdiction in 1864. So there you can see Scottish Episcopal there. I'll take you and show you the front doors. So yeah, now during the 35 years he was bishop there, there was a huge upsurge in church membership and the former congregation were re-established. The foundation stone was laid by Archbishop of Canterbury in 1866 and the cathedral was opened to services in 1869. The architect was Alexander Ross. He practised in Inverness as an architect for over 70 years and he was Lord Provost as well from 1889 to 1895. Yeah, the inside of the church is beautiful and one day I will manage to either take you in or do a video, but you can see it is a beautiful building. Right, there we go. It wasn't a particularly long one tonight. I think we're just over 35 minutes, or something like that. But I just wanted to, yeah, because I usually take you up and into the town. I'm going to do something different. And I know I haven't really spoken about the bridges in detail. So I thought, you're getting bridges tonight. Anyway, it was lovely seeing everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe, to like, leave a comment if you've anything you want to see. And if you are able to support my channel, please do so. And thank you for my sponsors. I know there's been a bit of a hiccup with the bank account changing for the buy me a coffee. Don't worry, it will be sorted soon. As soon as it's sorted, I'll let you know. Okay. And if it wasn't for people supporting me, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you. Oh, thanks. Bye. Bye, Debbie. Bye, Michelle. Anna, bye. Oh, I'm missing so many people there. Anyway, thanks everyone. I had a good time. I hope you did. Oh, thanks, Emily. Thank you. Right. Bye.